In the 1970s, Vail was a great ski resort, and the rest of the time, still a nice place to live, but there just wasn't much happening during the rest of the year.
The Vail Valley was not really off the ground. It was still, it was a internationally known ski resort, but it hadn't really come to fruition to the point where people were talking about and doing things.
Lion's Head was just being developed, so there was not much west of Vail Village. And West Vail had one or two little subdivisions, basically Matterhorn and over by Chamonix, and really that was it.
I came to Vail and became a real estate licensee in 1972. And at that time, there were 18 firms in the town. I opened Timberline Properties, and that was firm number 18. And most of the firms only had one or two people in the firm, so there were less than 50 people. One day when I was walking back to my office, the thought crossed my mind that maybe I was not a realtor. I was curious enough to call information, and I got the phone number for the Colorado Association of Realtors, and I talked with the executive vice president, and he told me no, I wasn't in fact a realtor, that there were no realtors in Vail, that you could either be an independent realtor as a member of the Colorado Association all by itself, or you could form a board in Vail and the surrounding territory and be a realtor through a board of realtors, which became the Vail Board of Realtors.
Dave Cole was instrumental in forming the board. There was a woman also named Barbara Huff, who's long since been gone from Vail, and Bob Finley. And they felt a need, which we all did at the time, to establish a board. And so it was actually done in Vail Village, which is where we all did our business at that time.
One of the main purposes, but not the only purpose, of getting a board, is I think we wanted to get involved with more of a formal MLS system. Because back in that time, as I recall, there was a guy named Gaynor Miller, and he'd put out these sheets of, we'd call in and say we had this property listed or that property listed, and he had a handwritten sheet.
He used to type the listings for those few of us who were practicing real estate at that time, and we all used to call Gaynor on Monday morning to say, what have you got for us, what have you got for us?
The document was a 8.5 by 14-inch sheet of paper with all the available properties listed, and they fit very easily on that one sheet of paper.
Eventually, one of our members had a computer and had some computer skills, and he collected that information and then he would distribute it to the rest of us. But that was just a tiny step towards what the professionalism and the thoroughness that's in a multiple listing system.
I think when the Vail Board of Realtors started, in those days, was pretty small. The real estate community was small. It grew, over time.
All of a sudden, we became part of a very sophisticated national and international realtor organization that had training and education and programs and a code of ethics that we didn't have before. We didn't necessarily need it before, at least from a code of ethics standpoint, because I felt that the Vail market was always very above board and honorable. But all of a sudden we had this giant international organization that was supervising what we did and leading us along to bigger and better things.
When I think how far we've come in the last 30 years, it's pretty amazing. I would say not all of it's good from my standpoint of being an old timer. I kind of like when the brokers had all the information. Now the clients have as much as we have. They can be as savvy about different real estate areas as we are when they walk in our office. But I think overall the share of the data is probably good.
I think the Vail Board has done great things for our valley. It protects a lot of our consumers. It really makes our members, draws them together for all different types of events. We have social events, we have political events, and it really, I think the board has been a great influence in this county.
VBR has become very sophisticated. I mean, our people are now as talented in terms of realtorism and marketing and selling and listing and managing as they are in any of the big sophisticated firms in Denver. I think the issue in the future is can the realtors keep up with the technology that is overwhelming the industry?
I am excited to see what's happening in this board, and we have a whole new crop of people who are running it. They weren't involved in the beginning of the board. Some of them weren't even born then, but they're doing a heck of a job taking this board on to the next level.